Talk with you about is what America has done to me and how America destroyed certain parts of my life in ways that I possibly may not recover from. Good morning, wonderful people. Welcome again back to Karating. We are starting another amazing morning in our village here in Kisumu, Karating, Western Kenya. For those of you who are just joining us for the first time, I'm a Kenyan American who is working to move back to this incredible place we call home. And so this morning, I want to talk with you for about 10 minutes about a subject that keeps coming up, of course. And as always, we ask you to subscribe. If you enjoy our content, we ask you to help us move our videos much further than it can by subscribing. That's all you got to do. And so if you have not checked, just check to see if you're a subscriber. Again, what I want to talk with you about is what America has done to me and how America destroyed certain parts of my life in ways that I possibly may not recover from. You all know, and most people are already aware that us moving to diaspora really transforms our lives in all kinds of ways, mostly good. And I am very grateful for all that America has done to my life. I don't think I would be where I am today if I never made it to the US. And so when I talk of issues that we struggle with, it's not because I am being ungrateful, not at all. I am very much aware and very much keenly aware about how much living in diaspora has transformed our lives, both in terms of educational opportunities, career opportunities. America has been wonderful. And in fact, I'm one of those people who will never discourage anybody from going to America. If you have an opportunity to go to the US, even though right now things are not the way they used to be, I would say if you get an opportunity, go. But the good things that come with living in diaspora is not everything. That is not the whole story. Moving away from home and living in diaspora comes with its benefits and challenges. And so if you're focusing on just the good things only, we are not telling you the full story. And that's why in my channel, we keep it 100%. I'll tell you the good things that have worked out and also the things that have not worked out. So the truth is there's some things that I could not have talked about a while back, but now I'm in a position to share those things. America has been very kind to me, but there are certain parts of my life that have been profoundly changed because of living in America. And I'm not necessarily saying that all of it is attributable to life in diaspora. Maybe some of it is a matter of growing older or just life happening. But I know there's certain things that have changed in me in ways that I don't like, that I need you to hear. But before we say all of that, again, in my process of returning, I help returnees with construction. We help with finding land, other real estate matters. And so if you need help with things like that, you need to get architects, contractors, landscapers, interior designers. Please hit me on the number below. I'm happy to help where I can. And where I can't, we will always ask around. So that said, again, I repeat it. Some of my subscribers get mad when I say of all the things that have not worked out. America has been exceptionally kind to us in some ways, but in many other ways, it has really destroyed pieces of us that I wished I knew before I left. I had a big reminder. Last week, I went to a funeral somewhere almost 4 hours away from home. A friend had lost a parent and a sibling. And something happened that really reminded me of the parts of me that have changed in ways that I don't like. So what happened was that I was sitting in the shaded area, and usually with funerals in Kenya, they pack the seats very close to each other. So then this beautiful young woman walks past me, says hi with a smile, walks and sits right next to me, very close. And then a minute later, another elderly looking man, and I don't think he was really old. It's probably because, a tough life in the village has a way of grinding people's bones. So the guy looked probably older than he really is. So he comes and sits on my right side. And both of these folks are sitting very close to me. Our bodies are actually touching each other. And my immediate reaction was I'm feeling uncomfortable because I'm thinking, oh, this is my personal space being invaded. Almost instinctively. And I caught myself, I'm wondering, why am I doing that? Then I realized, again, Americans have this imaginary personal space radius around you, where you expect to keep distance from people in ways that is so different from those of us who live in Kenya. But for a minute or so, I felt really uncomfortable. And then I realized, this is actually not that bad. And then I started talking to the gentleman next to me. But in the meantime, I kept thinking, I feel warm bodies next to me on my right and my left. And then I was like, I could get this actually feels really good. This feels really good. Just having people sitting next to me. And by the way, Americans really are into this body odor thing. For me, it just reminded me of the things that are so normalized. Like natural body odor means nothing. People smelling organic, and I felt good. I was like, I could get used to it. Feeling one body sitting next to me, random strangers just smiling and chit chatting. So I ended up talking to this young man, this elderly looking guy, for nearly an hour. And he had a full set of rangapolo, which is in Greek basically means he had no teeth both up and down. So we got into it, we talked quite a bit. And then at some point, there was a lady sitting behind me with a baby who could have been like 3 years old or so. And whatever their baby is, I'm going to engage. So I started engaging with this kid. Next time, the kid is reaching out to come to me. And the woman just lets go, gives me the. And of course, at that point, I'm thinking, oh, this lady does not know me. And she's just letting me touch her baby, letting me hold her baby. So I took the baby was standing on my lap. And she didn't even ask for my name. And again, in my American mind, I'm thinking, there's something wrong here. This woman is being careless. And then again, I caught myself realizing, hey, this is home. People do things differently. So the baby is standing on my lap and I'm playing with it and all that. And the baby didn't even have a diaper. At that point, again, instinctively, I'm thinking, okay, this is probably bad news. Then I decided, what could go wrong? We're in the village. If the baby dunks, what could go wrong? Anyway, so then after a minute or so, she walks away from me, goes to grab some water, and she walks like maybe 15 feet. And out there, she meets people she knows and she's chit-chatting for another good 10, 15 minutes. She's not even looking at me. Complete stranger with her baby. We're just playing around, and then there's people. It was so perfectly normal. And for me, I'm thinking, wow, this is what home used to be. This is the Kenya that I left, where strangers just sit right next to you, feel very comfortable talking, and then just random woman leaving me with her kid, and she didn't even seem like she was concerned. But again, in my mind, I live in a place in Long Beach, California, where, again, kids have to be supervised round the clock. There's no way my kid can be somewhere without adult supervision. And this is a young woman who leaves me with her baby. She's standing like 15 feet away, chit-chatting, not even looking at my direction. And it just reminded me of the parts of me that I've lost, having lived abroad for a good while. I don't sleep very well. And part of it was the effect of working so many hours. I used to work sometimes up to 100 hours a week. And then when I went to grad school, there were days I would be gone for like 18, 20 hours. And I don't sleep very well. So that system sort of messed up with my circadian rhythm. There's something about working at night. And if you've never worked at night, you will never know what this is. You work at night and quote unquote you sleep during the day. I don't think the human body is meant to function like that. And so that system where we work so many hours, and most of us living in diaspora, life revolves between work and home, repeat, work and home, repeat. You do that for so long, it gets to you. I've not done that in a long time, in almost 12 years. But my sleep is still not even back to normal. And so there are certain things that living in diaspora takes away from you in ways that you don't even realize. It's one of the reasons why I really enjoy home, that I could just come home and switch off. Because in diaspora, it feels like it's almost impossible to switch off, to the point where even if you're quote unquote on vacation and you're in diaspora, it's never the same as being on vacation and you're in Kenya. Because vacation in diaspora, you're still thinking about work, you think about bills and all that stuff. It's not the same. And so I know very well that my sense of humanity in those respects have really changed. Just the idea of feeling comfortable around people. And then, of course, Americans have this thing where you simply smile at everybody. You sort of make very superficial connections. So I realized before I left Kenya, I was very authentic in every connection. But I noticed, having lived abroad, there's that sense of me that still has become really good at developing very superficial connections. In part because of that system where I walk in, people smile, they say, "Oh, good to meet you," when they're not even thinking about you. There's nothing even good about meeting you. That sense of, hey, you meet people and you're super superficial. I never knew that before I left. So I don't necessarily know whether this is a function of having become an adult or it's just living in America. But yes, as I said, living in diaspora comes with all sorts of advantages, but there are parts of us that change in ways that maybe I don't care for. And so as I come back to the village, I'm hoping to recover some of those things. Being comfortable around people, developing very authentic connections without thinking much, and that sense of cultural shift. Because many of us don't realize how much we change culturally. So that when we come back home, part of our struggle integrating is that culturally we are very different human beings. And so it helps to reset and just to remember the beautiful things we left decades ago. I'd be curious to see your experience. For those of you who lived abroad for a while, I'd be curious to see how has abroad changed you. For me, it was really good, but it was also very tough. And part of my transition is to recover part of me that I left when I left Kenya nearly 2 decades ago. All right, folks. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.